Why are you the way that you are?
Well, none of this nature versus nurture stuff is wrong, but there is a major problem with it. Primarily, it is extremely vague. There has to be a biological explanation for what is happening between nature and nurture. Something to tell us how our environment is taking this blueprint of DNA and doing different things with it depending on the situation. Epigenetics is this biological explanation. Epigenetics refers to the short-term, generally reversible modifications to DNA that cause it to be read in different ways. And we're starting to understand these changes in great detail. Let me start with a basic example. Let's take a look at this DNA base cytosine. There it is in its naked form. If I temporarily attach a methyl group to this cytosine, I've made an epigenetic modification. This one is called methylation, and the environment is making modifications like this one to our DNA every single day. Why would anyone care about this? Well, if I methylate a whole gene, in other words, if I attach a methyl group to each base pair in a set of base pairs, I silence the gene. I turn it off. Well, it turns out that the hemoglobin gene in my neurons is very highly methylated, and therefore, it is turned off. It gets better. I can attach different things to these genes. If I attach an acetyl group to the individual base pairs of a certain gene, I can turn that gene on. I upregulate it. Now imagine the implications of being able to turn genes on and off at will. We could turn unwanted genes off. We could turn desired genes on. And we could completely unlock the potential of the human genome. So back to the case of the twins, particularly the case where one twin has a disease and the other does not. We found an epigenetic reason for this. Recent research has found abnormal rates of methylation in many mental illnesses and almost every single cancer we know about. In cancer patients, parts of the genome are too highly methylated, specifically the genes that code for tumor suppressor cells. This methylation diminishes our defenses, allowing the cancer to grow. If we could go into the genome and remove these methyl tags, we could put up a fight against the cancer. And it turns out there are currently 2 FDA-approved cancer drugs that do exactly that. Additionally, if we could figure out exactly what environmental factors caused this methylation in the first place, we could avoid it completely. In reality, epigenetics is a bit more complicated than methylation off, acetylation on. A man named David Alice at Rockefeller University has shown that there are at least 50 different types of epigenetic modifications in addition to methylation and acetylation. And these don't exactly function as an on-off switch, but as more of a volume dial. Genes get turned on and off only to a certain extent. They're shades of gray. On top of that, not only is DNA modified epigenetically, so are the special proteins that DNA is wrapped around, called histone proteins. This can have effects on how long these modifications last. Our epigenetic modifications during childhood, such as the ones caused by abuse and neglect in case number 2, seem to be almost impossible to reverse on a biochemical level, and we can see this manifested behaviorally. So epigenetics is a complex field, and it looks like we are only scratching the surface. There will undoubtedly be many opportunities for future scientists to study this integral biological link between nature and nurture, so that future generations can have a better answer to the question, why are you the way that you are?